Ah, the Renaissance. Such a great time to be alive. The peak of art, the peak of architecture, the peak of multiple things. But something very peculiar happened. At the crumbling edge of the Renaissance, something broke. The confident symmetry, the serene faces of Raphael and Leonardo, all of it snapped. Out of this rapture, a new art movement emerged, Mannerism, a deliberate rebellion against natural perfection, turning away from the balanced harmony of the Renaissance towards something more unnatural.
Yarnum has a special way of treating guests. Whatever your reasons might be, you should plan a swift exit.
Similarly, Bloodborne takes the Gothic horror genre and pushes it beyond the traditional fear. The game world is grotesquely deformed. Bloodborne rejects the architectural logic, folding in on itself and defying physical norm. Both Mannerism and Bloodborne ask, what happens when perfection is no longer enough? What happens when beauty refuses to follow rules? Just as Mannerist artists reflected the religious and political anxieties of a collapsing world, Bloodborne reflects postmodern anxieties about knowledge, progression, perfection, and the limits of human understanding.
Fear the old blood.
The Great Ones echoed this idea that humanity is no longer presented as stable or ideal. It is mutable, grotesque, and as far from perfection as one can be. Because this isn't Gothic, it's post-Gothic, it's broken Gothic. A world wrapped not just by nightmare, but by failure. Failure of science, of religion, of meaning itself. This mirrors the inception of Mannerism itself, a movement born after the Renaissance, when younger artists struggled to match the seemingly unattainable perfection achieved by masters like Michelangelo and Raphael. Faced with the impossibility of surpassing them, they instead chose to distort, to exaggerate, to create beauty by breaking the rules. Another important parallel lies in the use of space. Mannerist paintings often feature compressed, irrational spaces that confound normal expectations of perspective. Space becomes a prison, and the laws of geometry are discarded in favor of emotion. In Bloodborne, architecture frequently violates spatial logic. Stairways loop impossibly, buildings jut out from insane angles, entire worlds layer atop each other, like fever dreams. This spatial distortion disorients the player, much like Mannerist compositions disorient the viewer, emphasizing a feeling of instability and dread. It's almost as if reality itself has begun to betray you. As Bloodborne progresses, its wrongness escalates, from the grotesque to the utterly cosmic. The Great Ones, beings beyond human comprehension, artifacts of consciousness, entities that twist the act of perception itself, echo the ultimate ambition of Mannerist art, to stretch representation and the human understanding itself beyond the visible world into something unsettlingly divine. In this light, Bloodborne can be seen as a modern Mannerist work, not merely in its visual style, but in its philosophical approach. By distorting reality, exaggerating the human form, and creating disorienting spaces, like the Mannerists, FromSoftware created something that breaks rules, not by accident, but with absolute precision. A digital Mannerist masterpiece, built not to comfort, but to unsettle, to remind us perfection is never the end. Sometimes, to find meaning, you have to break the frame.
And so the hunt begins again.